This is Mike, your shadow band master, here with Black Male. And this is going to be a review, a further review on Black Panther. All right. Now, I got Black Male in the place. Um, you just got out of the movie theaters, man. Did you
Yeah.
not? Yeah.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
So, okay, your true fresh out the theater reaction. What did you think of Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Give us
And
the
that movie
spill,
was
man.
some bullshit. No, I'm just playing.
What is what's up?
I'm gonna say, man, cinematically, that movie is up there with the Ten Commandments. Past the Ten Commandments. It's one of the iconic cinematic, visually cinematic type situations
Right.
where they took the awards off just cinematography alone, because like the scenery was crazy,
Mm-hmm.
like the outfits and and it was very royal, very clean. I mean, this ain't no like, you know, I ain't trying to be, this spoiler alert. You know what I mean? For
Right,
people who
right.
haven't seen,
Yeah, we can do
spoiler alert.
spoilers in this one. Yeah.
Yeah, so she was very royal. She looked very comfortable in her royal garb.
Who you talking about?
I ain't gonna lie.
Angela?
Angela Bassett.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she looked very royal. She looked like it fits her well. You know what I mean? Like she rocked that with total respect.
Look,
And
man, there's very few sisters I think could pull it off like Angela pulled it off. Um,
oh man, and she was
yeah,
just so healthy looking. She was like fit, and she looked probably 15 years younger than she probably is. You know what I mean? Like they made her have gray hair in there,
yeah,
but still, she fully represents, on her behalf for her position.
right,
I didn't know
right.
where. I ain't gonna lie. She wasn't the only one, but it was like, everybody was just, they were in their zone. You know how they develop character of a TV show. Even it takes time. It takes a couple of episodes before the characters are developed to where you have some sort of a connectivity
Yeah, well, you
to the
build a
character.
relationship with the characters. Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
probably should have
yeah,
did. You probably connected with them in the first one though, right? Black Panther one. So
yeah,
this one was
yeah.
more just of a continuation, but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, but I was waiting. I ain't gonna lie, man. All of the depictions that I was seeing, like, I was excited to see the new, you know, characters that kind of popped up out of nowhere. And it looked like a Mexican influence, a Latino influence that kind of came out of nowhere. And they mentioned Mayans and things like that.
Right.
But and they had a good depiction, for the most part. You know, I mean, um, the king of their, like their tech was cold for what it was, for what it's worth. They control the underworld pretty much, the water.
Right.
And it was they had a dope, like, underworld kingdom to where they had codes and rules, and they had something to protect. And
Mm-hmm.
and that was cool too. Now I did not like the depiction of them, the underworld, the water world, you know, going against Wakanda and
Oh,
fighting against Wakanda.
okay.
I
Why
didn't
not?
I didn't
Why
appreciate
not?
that because they both recognized they had a common enemy. At the beginning of the movie, they knew the United States is trying to, they trying to infiltrate. They're trying to mine for vibranium, and they're working on technology, and they use this brilliant young scientist, or and a side note. This is a side note. When they were discussing, like when at the end, well, I'm gonna skip when the new Black Panther, this spoiler for anybody. If you don't want to hear what I'm saying, don't, wait till you watch the movie, then check this out. But when old girl was Black Panther, his sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
She became Black Panther, and then Killmonger was circling her. He was running it down to her on what it was. You're gonna be like your brother, or noble, or you're gonna be like me.
In the ancestral plane, right?
Yeah, he was in the ancestral plane. Yeah. So, he said they come in. Your mother gave her life to protect the lost tribe, and that stuck out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, wait a minute, whoa. Why did he use those words? Why did he depict this young, seemingly African American, black young girl, 19-year-old girl, brilliant, genius? Why did he refer to her? Why didn't he just say, the American girl, the black girl, whatever? He called her the lost tribe. He went tribal with her depiction and his description of her. And he's speaking from the heavens, from the ancestral plane.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't call her what we called her in America or in the world, the present living world. He didn't refer to her as that. He's speaking from the dead, the ancestors. He recognized who she was because in his life, his role in his life, that's what he was. He was a depiction of the lost tribe, the ancestors.
Yeah, he was, but she's not. She's considered African though.
No, he's talking about the girl, the genius girl.
Oh,
the mother
the scientist
gave her life. Yeah, because that's who she went down in the water to go save, and she ran out of air.
Right,
right. So she gave her life, he said, to save the lost tribe. He didn't describe her as nothing else. I thought that was powerful. That was one of them things that just go over your head, or you just swoop it under the rug. But I caught that. That was a hard line right there. Because in this when he was in his physical.
Do you think? But do you think that's a take on Mother Africa saving the diaspora? Is that like your connection with that line, or what?
Well, I mean, it could be. I haven't, to be fully honest, I have not digested the whole movie, and I have not, broke it all down, to where everything is, it makes total sense to me. I'm fresh out the movie theater. It was a 3-hour movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm fresh out. I can't even remember everything that happened as of right this second.
What do you think of? What do you think of Nomar? What do you think of their I guess superhero, their main demigod or whatever? What do you think of Nomar and his powers?
I mean, Nomar is raw. That's a he's raw. Like I didn't understand his super. I know why, for cinematic reasons, you have to make it to where he's super powerful. He's this, that, and the third. He got wings like pro wings on his ankles.
Well, it seems like he has superhuman strength, and he can fly like a jet. So those are the main superpowers that I got out of him. That he just seemed super strong. When he punched your boy in the chest. Yeah.
He punched him, and that was it for dude. Like, dude was just like nothing. And he was the loudest mouth, and he was the leader of whatever tribe, the gorillas or whatever. Mm-hmm. And they supposed to represent, strength. They supposed to represent strength. So he showed them, he showed them, I'm way stronger than you. So they
Yeah.
were rendered useless at that point. And that brings me to another issue I had.
Okay.
Man, the men in this movie was not the African warriors. Like I didn't see no Zulus or nothing like that. But I just all the women had to step up, and I saw men there. I saw men in the doggone movie. I saw them depicted like gorillas, like we standing with our staffs, you know, and then the other men I saw was dancing. You know what I mean? Like they shaking, they dancing,
Mhm.
and that was like, oh, okay. But I did not see any stand up, come to the rescue men. I didn't see that, and that is disappointing to me,
Yeah.
to say the
Yeah.
least. To me, that's disappointing because I'm like, hold on, you mean tell me this scientist, you know, T'Challa's little sister, after he's dead, after a man came and killed the queen, there was no men ready and available and capable of protecting the realm, if you want to call it that, the kingdom.
But you gotta
The
understand
women,
something. You gotta understand something though, Black. Uh Umbaku has no superpower. He's just a man.
yeah,
So
evidently,
he's not going to be able to um compete with like somebody like Nomar, who's considered the god of the underworld or whatever. What have
now
you.
this is my discrepancy because I'm water when it comes to a resolution to a thing when I need to be. I'm water. That means I follow the least path of resistance to get to the resolve that I need. So I'm saying all that to say this. In all the time that Black Panther was dead and gone, it was about 6 years or something like that, the time of this fight being brought to their doorstep. They had nobody to replace the Panther, Black Panther. They were going on, they were under siege, they were getting bombed on, mollywop, you know, and they still had fortified, they could strength. Don't get me wrong. They could defend themselves against the United States, and they made that plain. Like when they stood, you know, I don't know where that board room meeting was in front of the UN or whatever. But they was just like, dude, the United States ain't no competition for us. We will mollywop y'all. It's no problem. So, but the new threat, what else that dealt with the same power, that had the same type, but different power. So this is a connected power that is equivalent to theirs in some ways. Now my issue is y'all had the technology right within your fingertips the whole time to appoint a
Had the
new
what?
Panther, the technology.
Oh, okay.
Because she recreated his DNA and, you know, this, that, and the third, and they just made a whole nother Black Panther. And she made herself the Black Panther.
Well, the thing is, she didn't have the recipe or the ingredients for it until she got that bracelet from the underwater Talikans or whoever it
Okay,
was.
so maybe
So
that's what
she,
it was.
yeah, she extracted the chemicals out of that bracelet that he gave her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that vibranium, the bracelet?
That yeah, that was vibranium. I think it was made from the
Oh,
raw
okay.
flour. Yeah.
Okay. So never mind that. That makes
Okay.
sense then.
Okay.
Because what I was going to say prior to, you know, finding that out was they could have appointed the gorilla dude,
Mm-hmm.
the new Black Panther, if she had the technology. Why didn't she just appoint dude? He's already super strong. Build him a Black Panther suit, give him the powers, let him drink that purple juice, and you back in business like a month.
Right.
He already wanted to challenge, but he already wanted to be that. Man. Now, yeah, he got punched. He didn't have no superpowers, but she could have let him drink that stuff. Because you got to understand, though, man. drank that purple stuff, and she had superpowers before she printed her costume or whatever, her uniform.
Right.
The purple stuff gave her superpowers alone, without the suit.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, without the suit, she has superpowers.
Yeah, she has superpowers, but the suit absorbs punishment. So it uses kinetic energy, and it uses it to store more energy. What up, Sean B in the building?
What do we do?
We're talking about Black Panther right now.
Oh, okay. Sorry to interrupt.
All right, but go ahead, Black.
So she was, I mean, still, like, dude, you know, I understand it bounces bullets off of it, off the uniform and all that, you know, and that's, you know, that's dope and all that. I just mean as, you know, a means of, you know, a resolve of the kingdom. I would have thought that they would have, because she's a genius by herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would have liked, I know there's ways they could have did it, but this is a look for black women in my eyes. It's a very good look for black women, because it gives them a hero. It gives them, you know,
do you feel this? Do you feel like they get to be smart and they get to be the warriors? They get to be pretty much everything?
Well, that was the depiction. That was the depiction. They were not only the thinkers, they were not only the protectors, but they were their absolute heroes, you know, in the end.
And like, the brave hearts in the movie.
Yeah, they were brave. They were fighting on the front lines, and they were making decisions about, you know, front lines of warfare against men and women. Like, it was women out there fighting these men. And I was just like, I know the guerrilla camp was somewhere. I know they held the rope up. They held the rope because they strong, right? But man, come on, man.
Yeah. And you seen when it was at the when they were fighting each other, it was almost at the end where everybody came. This is a spoiler for everybody. But when they decided to make peace with each other, they came back and they told everybody, we were peaceful, stop the fighting. It was only like 10 Wakandans. It was like 1 million of them Talakans or whatever.
Yeah.
And they pretty much got rid of practically everybody but some key players.
Yeah, literally. And then they showed up with UFOs after all that. You know, in the next scene, it was UFOs everywhere. And I'm like, what was all the UFOs when they was battling and fighting? All I saw was women on the front line. Like, the lipstick. Come on, man. Like, come on.
What do you mean UFOs, bro?
Dude, it was UFOs in the very, very next scene. UFOs when they was back in Wakanda. And they had UFOs everywhere.
Who, the Talakans or the Wakandans?
Wakandans had UFOs.
They've been had those.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, come on, man.
Okay.
You know.
So as far as the acting and stuff and the storyline, what did you think of that? Who did the best acting, and what did you think of the storyline itself?
Well, there were several, you know, times in there where it was like, all right, they going for the emotional pull on this. You know, like several times, you know, like when they showed Chadwick in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, that was you know, that was a little emotional. You know, I ain't gonna lie. You know.
Yeah, you probably squirted out a tear. I'm
hard. You know.
Yeah. Do you think it was? Do you think it was appropriate? You think they should have spent more time on that dedication, or it was too long?
No, because they kept doing it. They didn't just leave it there. They did it again.
They did it again at the end. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was another one, and it was, you know, another tearjerker. And then when they showed the casket, you know, and
Right.
then his casket stood up vertical, and it was beamed up into the UFO.
Now,
It was
now,
beamed
Sean,
up
did you
into
see the
UFO.
movie yet?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay, we dropping a bunch of spoilers, man. So, if you don't want to hear these spoilers, don't listen because we're gonna be dropping some spoilers.
For sure.
It's still worth going
Yeah,
and
it's still
seeing
worth
though,
seeing, but
because
we don't want to ruin it for you because we're gonna be
visually,
dropping some spoilers.
this is one of the coolest visual movies that I saw. Like visually, it's dope because it's depicting you know the advancement of the gods. The Wakandans were never referred to as the gods. There was referred to, the depiction was, almost kind of primitive with bones for necklaces and things like that. But the side note is the technology that's literally out of this world. Literally out of this world, and they made sure to appoint properly who the colonizers was. But my beef with the movie, my beef is that they never banged on the colonizers. In the beginning, yeah, they wiped them out. They made them bow down. In the beginning, they made all.
They didn't
the
even
white
do that.
bow
They didn't
down.
even do that. You remember? Because when she
The
went to
ocean
the
people.
UN, she brung them back to the UN.
Yeah.
She brung them all back to the UN. None of them died.
No, they didn't die.
That's my thing. In Hollywood, it's illegal for white men to die. It seemed like you cannot have white men die, at least not by the hands of anybody black.
Yeah. So
Check
I'm
it.
like,
Check
well,
every movie. You will never see a white man certified with a dead face, dead by the hands of a black man. You'll see the opposite. You'll see a black man dead by the hands of a white guy, but you'll never see that in reverse. That's a Hollywood rule that I'm really noticing and catching up on right now.
Yeah.
Because
and that's
even in
all.
the UN, they had to bring all those guys back, and then she said it was a act of an olive branch, and this is our way of saying, don't try it again, sort of thing. But all those guys were still alive. I mean, they kicked tail in the fighting scene, but they didn't kill none of them.
Yeah. They just kind of put them on timeout.
Yeah.
And then, but they did make them take a knee. They make them bend the knee. Like, you got to bow down. They bowed down.
Yeah, but they was
took a knee
alive,
in front
man.
of the queen. I
They
know.
was alive.
I feel you on that. I ain't gonna no pushback on that. They should have all been dead, decapitated. Their heads should have been on sticks, on spikes.
That's why it will always be a bit of infighting, man. This is why you have Mexicans going against blacks, because they're not gonna show their guys getting beat by minorities. They're just not. It's a Hollywood faux pas. So people who looking forward to that, it's hard for me to see it. I didn't see it. Like, even in Woman King, right? Even in Woman King, you probably didn't see that, but even in Woman King, the white guy was not the bad guy. It was a whole bunch of infighting.
Of course.
Of
course.
It seemed like that's the only way we can get on the big screen is if we are fighting amongst ourselves.
Yeah, 100%. Now, this is what the hope is. Now that I saw the movie, and I haven't even processed all of it, but what I'm hoping, because the lining is there, the timing is right for it to go the right way this time in the third installation.
Right.
They have the whole scene set to where they both join hands because she spared the king of the underworld's life. She spared his life, the Panther did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could have killed him. Bottom line, he could have been dead. She could have killed the king, and his warriors could have killed the Wakandan army.
Mm-hmm.
So they would have killed the army, but they wouldn't have had So it's like it equals out.
Right. Now
So
let me say this. Let me say this real quick, Black. Let me tell you my rendition of the movie real quick. Okay, when I first seen it, I said that yeah, this is some more Hollywood tricks. The black men are not stepping up. They're not. They always have us in a uh, supportive role. We're always twiddling our hands, while the while it seems like the women get to be smart and they get to be brave.
well, the women have to step up because we were depicted as so incapable. We had no superpower.
Right,
We
right,
had
but
no ability.
right, right. But let me finish this. So here's the thing, though. When I seen that, I said, here we go again with some more Hollywood tricks and some more Hollywood politics, as I would call it. Right. I think what happened is Ryan Coogler said, look, I'm gonna just let the women shine in this one. We're gonna give our tribute to Chadwick. We're gonna, keep the audience engaged with the male superhero, but we're gonna let the women shine. Now, what I think he did is he did some key things in this movie to set up Black Panther 3. Okay.
That's what I was thinking too, though.
Number one, let me tell you what I think gonna happen. And this is a huge spoiler, so please, if you haven't watched it, don't watch this movie. Don't listen to this. This is a huge spoiler.
Come right to this after the movie, after you watch it.
Yeah. When Angela Bassett, the Queen, died, I think he did that on purpose. And the reason he had to kill her. He had to kill Angela Bassett's character for a reason. The reason is because I believe that Lupita, she's going to be the next queen. So she's going to move from Haiti. She's going to move back to Wakanda, and she's going to move back with her son. Okay.
Well, okay. That
and her son, right, and her son is the rightful heir to the throne. So so what's going to happen is he's going to right. So he's going to be the next Black Panther. It's not going to be him exactly. It's going to be recasted as another guy, but he's going to be the Black Panther. But Lupita is going to be the mother, and she's going to fill the shoes of the next queen. Okay.
Wow. That makes sense.
And then what's going to happen is another thing he did in this movie. He dismissed the Dora Milaje because she failed, right? So he even though he let the women shine, he said, look, you couldn't protect from Killmonger, you couldn't protect from these guys. So you demoted pretty much. And she got some more special suits or whatever. So she got a specialty job right now. What I think is going to happen is M'Baku is going to be the new general. Okay.
Oh, you coming with it right now?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And there have been reports that M'Baku is going to have a bigger role in Black Panther 3. So what I think is going to happen is there's going to be a black superhero again, black male superhero. He's going to be Black Panther. The general is going to be M'Baku, and the queen is going to be Lupita.
That will be hard. I ain't gonna front at all.
That is going to be hard because then M'Baku is going to rally the troops and they're going to fight. Now, here's another thing I think is going to happen, and this will be dope. I think that Wakanda and the underground people will get together and they will fight the United States.
And the world.
I think and the world. I think they will, because because the world is going to the word is going to be out where the vibranium is. The vibranium is not only in Wakanda, but it fell into the underground too. It fell in the ocean.
Yeah.
That's why they got superpowers. It
Yeah.
didn't just fall in Wakanda, it fell in the ocean too.
Yeah.
So the world is going to be, now that the word is out with these vibranium detectors, people from all over the world is going to be coming there. And these two are going to have to combine together and defend both these places, Wakanda and I can't remember the name of the underground place, but they're going to have to defend both places.
Just water. Just say water.
Yeah. So, but it's not going to be interesting unless they get another superhero villain.
Yeah.
So the question I have is, I know how Wakanda is going to set up for Black Panther 3. I have a feeling I know how the underground place is going to set up, and I think they are going to team up together. The question is, who's going to be the new villain? That's what I want to know.
Well, I mean,
but when you look at the movie, you get in your feelings, especially as a black man, because you we look very weak in this movie. But I think we had to, in order for certain things to take place, he had to demote the general, right? Now, the Dora Milaje is in the comic book, so they had to be in the movie. Black Panther, a female Black Panther, is in the comic book, so Shuri had to be the Black Panther. So everything is happening as it should happen, right? But she gets demoted. I think, like I said, I think M'Baku is going to end up being the new general. I think the ladies are going to play a special role with those suits where they can fly and all that other stuff. And they're going to be like a special ops or whatever. But I think that the Black Panther is going to come back together. But he had to on screen demote her. He had to have the Queen pass, because there cannot be any conflict on who has the throne. Okay, it can't be any conflict on who has the throne. Some people say it was a lot for you had to go through Chadwick's, burial, and then the Queen. So a lot of people was like, that's too much, right?
Yeah,
but it was a lot. But he had to do that to set up Black Panther 3, so that she can just slide into her rightful position as Queen, Lupita.
Well, what's gonna happen to
Shuri? Yeah. I think Shuri is going to.
Wait a minute. Her name is Shuri.
Shuri. Shuri, something like that. Yeah, it's not Siri, but it's Shuri. Shuri, I believe. Yeah.
Human computer.
Yeah. I'm not sure on what road she's going to take. It would even be dope if there were two Panthers, to be honest. If she stayed a Black Panther, and we got to have a male Black Panther, but I don't know if she's going to play a supporting role or she's going to play like an Alfred, how Alfred was with Batman. You know what I mean? He's going to be the science person in the background.
They had that, and this is, like I said, to go back to what I was saying before, where they depicted the African American girl, teenagers in college, as the lost tribe. They depict her. So she was a super genius, though, and she just back in, after witnessing all of this, she's back amongst just the regular civilian population. Nah, she had too big of a role. They're gonna have to implement her into this new role in some form, because she is the missing link. And by the way, you got to understand. Now, this is a side note that is just based off my personal understanding. This has nothing to do with nothing else. This is just me personally. I personally know and understand and believe it to be true that we are the lost tribe of Israel. I believe that to be an absolute fact. And I just find it real ironic that Wakanda and the depiction of the Mexicans both are basically in contact with this superpower. It's a power in and of itself. To them, it hits them different and it gives them different powers, but nonetheless, it's the same exact thing, the vibranium. And only the lost tribe, the Mexicans, and the Wakandans have this power at their access that can wipe out the whole planet. But they beefing with each other. Now, in the Hebrew, power is Alahayim. It's Alahayim. That means power in the Paleo ancient Hebrew. And we, as lost tribes of Israel, believe and understand and know and accept the fact that the Native Americans, for one thing, are one of the lost tribes. The Latinos are one of the lost tribes. The Black Jamaicans, and they depict Haitians in there too. All of these things, if you're not like spiritual or you just reject all of that, you don't even pay attention, you wouldn't have picked these things up. But I fact up that the Haitians were depicted. Lapita was depicted as a Haitian. They're the tribe of Levi. And they mentioned the Americans, the African American as a law. And then they have the Hispanics as holders of this power as well. And then, of course, the Wakandan, a holder of this unseen power. And of course, the colonizers want. Of course they do. They won't stop until they finally. That's why he was coming to kill the genius scientist of the lost tribes. He was, they beefing with the lost tribes over there because it's a vulnerability. Like, listen, we need y'all to not, be vulnerable enough to, expose us or, put us in harm's way or whatever. But to go back to what I was saying, the Native Americans and the Hispanics make the 10 lost tribes of the Northern Kingdom that really existed in ancient Israel. I know you got the Kanye stuff going on right now, the Kyrie stuff going on right now. If you dig deeper, whoever's listening, dig deeper. You don't have to look at it religiously. Look at it historically. If you do proper homework on it, you'll know that after King Solomon's temple fell, after King Solomon died, his temple fell, and there was a split between the Northern Kingdom of Israel, ancient Israel. The 10 northern tribes went into paganism, and they were banished. And they were the first ones to venture out and come over to North America, right? They traveled on the water. It took a year and a half for them to reach the Americas.
Yeah, I know. I know there's some connections. There's definitely some connections. I kind of want us to stick on the movie though. There is just like in the Matrix, there were some connections. The Terminator, there was some connections with religious things. John Connor was, shorthand for Jesus Christ and stuff like that. I know there's always religious connections, and the tribe of Levi is Haitian and Hades, and I get all that. But let me ask you, as far as the movie, what would you rate it as far as like from 1 to 10? What would you rate it?
I mean, as far as the movie, I rated it about an 8 plus. It was an 8 plus. Because listen, I want to say, man, I do understand, and I do respect the fact that when men are down, women, our women are the only ones capable of actually really picking us up properly, the way we need it to be done. Like, our women will pick us up for the right reasons. Like, they are strong enough, to do that.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm never gonna take that from black women. They are the strongest women, that I know in on this planet. They are the strongest women on this planet.
Right.
So, and I'm gonna leave that where it is.
Right. And
Like,
I agree with you. I will say, I agree 100% with that. I just would like a better depiction on black men. It seems as though, because look, listen, physically, black men are, I would say, the best. Physically, black men are the
hands
best,
down,
and
we're
and, and by
strong.
and by default, physically black women are the best. But the thing is, it is never portrayed. It's almost as if it
It's in
seems
the
like
contract.
if black men get into, like, because let me put it this way: Superman was based on black men. He was not based on a white man. He was based on
100% he was.
Jesse Owens, right? The
Black men. Yeah.
faster than the speeding bullet. It's
Yeah.
almost like black men seem to be so superhuman. It seems like it's unfair to put them against somebody. It seems like why is Hollywood so scared to put black men against somebody? And if we do go against somebody, it's infighting. It's always amongst ourselves.
Yeah.
It's almost like they're scared to put us against another ethnicity or whatever the case may be.
Yeah. Because
And
who did T'Challa fight in the first one? Like, who was his main nemesis? Who did he bang on?
it was this one white guy who had this this arm, this
But was
like
it the
gun.
whole movie, or was it just like a blip? He was banging against his own family.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. For the most part, he was going up against. It was Killmonger. It was Killmonger. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it was a blip of him banging on the colonizer. But that's always the case.
But
man.
the main thing was in fighting with Killmonger. Yeah.
100%. And that's my point, man. Like, when we are strong and we depict it as, oh man, he whooped him, man, he beat the crap, he beat the all that. It's against ourselves.
Yeah. And
It's against our damn self. I'm like, man, when we gonna get depicted as banging on our ops, our real life ops? When is that gonna be a
Hollywood
don't
want to
get what I'm saying.
Hollywood don't want to see that. They don't mind it being the other way, but they don't want to they don't want to see that. And they should be embarrassed. Hollywood should be embarrassed by that, because now it's so obvious that you're starting to look a certain type of way.
No, because people know now, man. People are this generation, especially this new generation. I don't even know what they call it, Generation Y or Generation Start Over. I don't even know what they call it.
No, they Z's.
Okay.
Yeah, they Z. The millennials,
right.
and then there's.
And then it was Y, and now they're at Z. And then it's gonna be
Yeah, Z, and then after Z is the alphas. So that's like 6-year-olds. So.
All right. But all I'm saying is, listen, we have the capability of banging and fighting, and they have these drawn out fight scenes to where, wow, you're inflicting so much damage on this person. But I promise you, I can't remember the last time I've seen that type of energy kept up and maintained towards the actual enemy. And that
Yeah.
pisses me off. That's all I'm saying. I don't
Yeah.
mind black women stepping up because black men are too weak to do it or whatever. Y'all just couldn't do it. So women had to step up and protect
Well,
everyone.
that's always the narrative that we. That's
Yeah,
always what they
so
put
they're
out
gonna
there.
write that in there. Like, oh, well, we had to. Well, y'all was the brains. Y'all were the bronze. Like, where we at in this one? Like, we just like ain't the brains or the bronze. Huh? Like, normally to give balance, give either one or the other. But you can't tell me we were.
Right. Well, that's where it is, man, and that's that. It seems that way. It was like that in the first Black Panther. It's like that. Woman King, Black Panther 2. The only one it wasn't really like that was Black Adam. And I went to go see Black Adam, and Black Adam, he wasn't no punk, you know what I mean?
So I'm gonna have to check
But
that out.
right, but the only thing is Black Adam, uh he didn't, well, he was doing his thing. He was doing his thing. But what I didn't like about Black Adam is that Viola Davis played his arch nemesis. Why?
Oh, okay. So there you go.
So it's more infighting, and guess who she
There you
get?
go.
Guess who she get to go fight Black Adam?
Ooh, a white dude.
I'll let you watch the movie, man. I'll let you watch the movie. I'll let you
So
watch the
hold on,
movie.
wait a minute. I don't know nothing about Black Adam and
I know,
Nemesis.
but Black Adam, I think Black Adam is worth a watch too. It starts off a little slow too, but it gets to it. It's still a good flick to go see. I don't think it was better than Black Panther 2, but it
He
was.
came out of nowhere, Black Adam.
He did. But the storyline is doper than Black Panther to me. The storyline is I was a slave for 5,000 years.
What?
I became a god. I bowed down to no one.
Hold on.
Yeah, man.
This what we own?
That's what we own. I was a slave for 5,000 years in Egypt.
Yeah. Don't
I
have me
came
no
back a
slave
god. Yeah. And he got unlimited powers, and he ain't no punk. I think the Black Adam story is even doper than the Black Panther, to be honest.
Right. Adam, because Adam was made of the dust of the ground.
Yeah.
For the record,
Black Adam.
Adam, the very first man.
The very first.
That walked was depicted as what we describe as a black man today.
Yeah.
Even though we're brown, we're melanated, we're not black. That's the color in the crayon box.
Right.
We're literally just melanated with carbon. It's melanin. We're not technically black, but I get it. If you're gonna name a movie, I'm with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So even though the storyline wasn't maybe understood or told as good as Black Panther was, I think it's still a good start. I think Ryan Coogler should get on the Black Adam stuff too. And I know he's probably busy. He got other things to do, but I would love to see Ryan Coogler. I actually think Ryan Coogler, man, is an elite director at this point.
No, absolutely. I think Spike Lee need to really just tip his hat.
Yeah.
Pass him the torch and be like, here's some scripts, go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's my pointers on how to really get there,
He and that James Cameron, Steven Spielberg, Brian Coogler conversation, man. Especially, being a brother and one of the ones who's doing it big out there. I think he deserves just as many accolades as the rest of them. I think that he's going to get some. I think a lot of the stuff in this movie was Oscar worthy. I think the costuming was Oscar worthy. I think Angela Bassett was Oscar worthy. I think the script is Oscar worthy. Even though it didn't bode well for a black male eye. I understood why he did all the things he did. I think this is a setup movie.
That's only
Only
if
if it's a setup.
the third installation comes with it.
It will, because he
If
set that up.
don't-
Did you see at the end? Did you see Black Panther at the end
Yeah,
after the credits? You seen the sun?
yeah,
Yeah. So he's setting it up. So
yeah.
he had to do it this way to set it up. Let's give all the women all the glory and all of this stuff in this movie, but we're gonna take some measurements. We're gonna replace the queen. We gotta replace the Dora Milaje. We gotta replace. He's setting it up. And when I sat and I thought about it, and I was out of my feelings about us getting our asses whipped pretty much in the movie, I was like, oh, I get it now. He's setting up 3. He has to be setting up 3.
When he named himself, when he said his name to his auntie, when he said, "I am, T'Challa Jr." or whatever like
Right,
that.
right.
In the end, like he let it be known. I know you can keep a secret, right? Yeah, I can keep a secret. But this is who I am.
Yeah,
I know who I am. I'm the king's son.
yeah.
Make no mistake about it. I know who I am. Yeah, my name is Chucky Booker, to normal people. But I am T'Challa the King Jr.
Did you say Chucky
No.
Booker, nigga? Where did you pull Chucky Booker out of your ass at? Man, that was, man. Anyway, Chucky Booker.
Chucky Booker. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know. I can't wait to the third one now.
Yeah, because when I sat and I thought about it, I marinated on it. I was like, oh, this would only make sense if he's setting up 3.
Yeah.
And if he's setting, look, the movie was 3 hours long, practically. So you had to get all of that in this movie in order for it to set up 3 the best way it can, right? So, let's let the women kick some ass. Let's let them be Black Panther. They were in the comic book, so they doing their thing. But we got to get back to business as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
And have a male Black Panther. Shuri did a good job the way, all things considered. I don't think she necessarily wants the job of Black Panther. And that might come out later. I know they did introduce the scientist girl with the she's going to be replacing Iron Man for the most part in a lot of movies.
That's what it looks like, huh?
Yeah, probably not even just Black Panther. She's probably going to be in some other movies because she's going to be replacing Iron Man. But
why is a woman gonna replace Iron Man?
look, here let me tell you my theory on Hollywood, man. First of all, we got to remember something. Hold on. Let me say this. First of all, Hollywood really is about making money. Okay, let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. The movie theaters is about making money, right? If you are on a date and you take your woman to the movies, what do you think she's going to want to see? She's going to want to see movies where she's the superhero. So they play into the women for a reason, because women drive date. If it's a date night, if it's a movie night, women are going to want to see what they want to see. They're going to want to see themselves as superheroes. So to get all of that date money, we're going to cater to the women. We're going to give the women whatever they want because they drive dates. So if a man asks, what do you want to see? They're going to say, I want to see Black Panther. I want to see Woman King. I want to see stuff like that. So they're going to get all that date money. Now, all that being said, I think that's why they are coming out with all of these woman strong movies because it generates money, it generates revenue. They know they're going to get the man because it's a comic book, but in order to get the women, they're going to have the women look like the superheroes. So I think all of this is a marketing thing to drive consumers, because what happened is the universe or the DC universe or the Marvel universe, they were starting to get top out with the number of people that would come to the movies. This is why they start introducing black superheroes. This is why they start introducing women. This is why they start introducing Hispanics, because they were topping out. And they were limiting their revenue. It was the same, no disrespect, but it was the same white boys coming to the movies all the time. And they wasn't making more money. So they had to figure out a way to bring more audiences in.
So, with that being said, but let me real quick break my opinion down about it. Have you ever seen a video with Lil Nas X twerking on it?
I'm glad I haven't, man.
It was a music video. He's twerking on the devil, right? In his music video. Have you ever seen Shaq in a dress? Playfully. He's being
I think
playful.
I have. I have.
What about Charles Barkley?
Yeah.
What about Wesley Snipes, the Kung Fu black belt?
Yeah, I got you. What's the point, though?
Okay, so my point is Hollywood goes deeper than just money. It's my belief that they have an absolute agenda with what they put out. And it goes well past so-called money. There's no money in circulation, unless you talk about gold and silver. But they have an agenda. And their agenda, in my opinion, my humble opinion, is to always depict anti-Semitism in the form of weak demonstrations of
black male leadership,
black male masculinity. It cannot be masculine. If it is, it's toxic.
I agree with that.
The women, they have to elevate the women, the feminine energy, to be heads of households over the men. Now, the kingdom is the household. Your house, where you lay your hat, is your home. Listen, man, if you can't protect that, what good are you worth? And then I noticed in the last depiction, when everything was cool and everything was fine, they finally showed two of the bald head sisters kissing each other. And they call each other my love.
They really they're getting real comfortable with showing us being in these type of relationships. They did that in Woman King too.
This is my whole point. And this is why I'm like, weak black men, strong black women, and gayness. This is what I ultimately believe they're trying to do. It ain't about money. It is about absolutely them giving us a hero they control, and then tearing down the natural heroes, which is the men who protect the household just naturally, making them look weak and losing confidence from the feminine aspect into the man, and bigging up the feminine energy. This is what I believe.
Let me say what I believe now. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Okay. I do think that nothing trumps the dollar, though. Okay. So I do think it's a way to get more revenue out of people. If you have the women being the stars of the show, it's just going to generate more revenue. I think everything is revenue driven, but at the end of the day, I do think they have these certain movies that are propaganda movies, sort of like The Woman King. And let me tell you why The Woman King, because The Woman King, they wasn't even interested in how much money it made. They gave I believe they gave executive producer or ownership to Viola Davis, and that's why Viola took it. Okay, Lupita was like, I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole, but Viola, she just grabbed on it, and
Wow.
she's
Say that.
Viola to me is looking a little suspect. Now I still got love for Viola, but she's starting to really look a little suspect to me because of the roles that she took. Like I told you, even in Black Adam, she was, the adversary to Black Adam. Like she wanted to see this brother, and she went and got somebody that was of a lighter shade. I'll just put it that way to defeat Black Adam. And then in the movie of Woman King, I mean, if Lupita got enough sense to turn this down, why don't Viola? I just don't understand. And in Woman King, they threw every stereotype they could in that movie. Through every stereotype they possibly could. I mean, the women were super dark, super chocolatey black women, super masculine looking women. Okay, there was some, the men
Sort of
were
the super dark chocolate women wasn't feminine and delicate and soft. And
they wasn't. They was as masculine a man as you could. I mean, masculine as women as you could possibly imagine. And they had no femininity, and they had a feminine woman in the movie of Woman King, but she was docile and no power, and the king chose Viola over her, and Viola disrespected the king. Look, I don't want to say too much about Woman King. All I'm saying is there are some movies that's about getting the female dollar, and there are other movies that are about agendas. I do think anything that got to do with slavery is an agenda movie. Okay, unless it's made by us, which is not many. The only one that was made by us was the one with what was that? It was a guy. He made a movie. It was a brother. I can't remember the name of it. But
I will say this, man. Listen, I will say this. None of these movies is about the dollar at the end of the day. And I know that's hard to hear, and people would easily disagree with that. Because it's like, what? Are you kidding? You have no idea how much money these people have already and how much they it's not about the money. They know there is no money. There is no money. What it is your dollar is a vote to what you believe in. You cast your votes to your ideology based off your money. So when you spend money with Gucci and you know they put blackface on their models, then you are subscribing to the mind frame that you are inferior. And you love that, right? Like if you buy, the champagne that Jay-Z made popular back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and then they started saying, yeah, we don't rock with black people, Now, if you would have kept rocking with it, then, it would have been a vote towards your own self-demise. You're destroyed. You're demonstrating that. Then they would have marketed to us more readily, right? My thing is this, man. Hollywood is a machine of witchcraft. Hollywood, literally, Holly is a form of tree. A branch of that holly is called the Hollywood. It was used by druids and witches back in the days, and even to this day, during the Wiccan hours to cast spells. Hollywood is utilized to cast spells of ideology on the masses. So it has never been about money. It has always been about controlling minds. So when you can make a still image come to life, speak, that is what the Bible refers to as a miracle. So you're watching miracles, you're believing all of these supernatural things. And it's always to pump images into your mind to control your subconscious. They put a lot of images and depictions in there that is not on the forefront, but it's to control your subconscious.
But Black, listen, I understand there's a level of propaganda in movies. Definitely. I do believe there's a bit of programming in movies. I do believe that, and you do have a point with that. However, I don't know how far I'm willing to go with that with a black director like Ryan Coogler, who's also part of
Oh
the
man,
script
I
writing.
promise you, they're the worst. Black directors have to. They have. Listen. Let's look at what Kyrie is going through right now.
No, no,
As
but hold on,
far
hold
as
on, hold on, hold on. Hear me out though, and this is, let me say this, Ryan Coogler. Look, I don't want to crap on the guy's work. Okay, all of the things, when I look at what I seen in Black Panther, all the things that I see actually happen in the comic books. You have to stay true to the comic books. You have to stay true to that for its authenticity. Okay, there were some things that
who
were
wrote the
out of his.
comic
There
book?
were some things that were out of
Who,
his. Hold on, hold on. There were some things that were out of his control. The Dora Milaje being part of the Black Panther saga or storyline is a real thing. He had to put them in there. Okay, he had to put them in there as being the warriors. Okay, so his hands was pretty much tied with that because they want him to stay as true to it as and authentic to it as possible. So you got to have the women in there. You know, look. I'm sure if it was up to him, he would probably have it a certain different type of way. And we got to look at it like this: the passing of Chadwick Boseman, that was nobody's fault. Okay, you can't. We had to have Siri turn into the Black Panther as a woman. It was only right because she was the only heir that was left in the kingdom. Everybody was dying off. Okay, she had to be, because she was the sister, so she had to be Black Panther. So again, I'm not saying that there's no propaganda in Hollywood. Obviously there is, but I kind of take a pause when it comes to Black Panther 2, even though I didn't like the optics of it being a black male. I couldn't stand the optics of it being a black male. But I have to say, okay, let me put the feelings to the side and understand where he had to go with this, because Chadwick, he passed away. Okay. So we had, and in the comic books, a female does end up being Black Panther. So
ain't that ironic?
you kind of kill two birds. Well, I hate this to use the word kill two birds with one stone, but you kind of do.
But ain't
You
that ironic?
Yeah, but it's nobody. It's look, it's life, man. It's you have to make
But
some lemonades out of out of these
ain't it
lemons.
ironic?
Yeah, well, look, this was something he was going through secretly, man. This was something
Yeah,
he was going through secretly. It's
ironic.
not.
The irony
I
of
don't. I
it.
don't want to make everything a conspiracy. You know what I mean? This was not
So,
a conspiracy. This was just life. It
all right. So
happens.
listen. We should look at this movie and take it for a grain of salt. We should not emotionally invest ourselves too heavily in any movie that we see on a big screen. First and foremost, when talking about the depiction of our representation, this is where and when I step up and I say, if you're gonna depict us, X, Y, and Z, this is what I'm doing as we speak. So that's all my commentation is about. If you're gonna depict us, this is what I think about it. I'm not emotionally investing myself into a fictitious character of a superhero that didn't exist in real life. Now, even though simultaneously to the cartoon characters being drawn up, because his original name, the factual, was Black Leopard. Prior to Black Panther, he was Black Leopard. But the Black Panther Party was in motion. The same just not a year before the black leopard, and then after the discovery of these all black men stepping up to the plate, strong, masculine, shotguns in hand, on the front line, protecting the neighborhood. Boom, let's switch the name up from Black Leopards to Black Panther. And a star was born. I just find it ironic that in the actual depiction of this Jewish man who controlled the narrative of the Marvel comic chose to make the actual depiction of strong black men be weak.
All right. Now let me ask you this, man, because I don't want us to get too political with this.
Nah, we gotta go wherever it goes.
I know, but what I'm saying is, as far as the entertainment part of it, talk more about that. Like, what do you think about that? I mean, yeah, we could go politics and visuals and all that.
It was visually, like, I took your daughter, like, visually it was worth it. It was like a bunch of people there, so I mean, it was dope, like, visually is a night out. My job is high risk. My job is I do dangerous work for a living. You know what I mean? Like, like, I ain't gonna go into detail, but when I get a chance to just appreciate being amongst, familiar faces and not, boom, that's what I'm gonna do. And then if it's, if I gotta foot the bill for the whole situation to see a movie where we're being depicted in royal garb, of course I'm gonna speak highly of that. You know what I mean? It's just when we go into critiquing the same movie, if I'm gonna be honest, I gotta literally be honest. That's all I'm saying. People may not agree with my take on it.
No,
but I'm me, and I have my own perspective on it. That's all I'm speaking about.
I get that, man, and I get to, we did talk about the political side, the propaganda side, the subliminal messages and all of that. I wanted to just get more information on what you thought entertainment wise and visually and storyline and all that stuff.
It was dope. I would have wished they had more laughs.
More humor in it.
Yeah, more humor. I counted 3 times where the whole audience just kind of given opportunity to erupt and like, ha 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 ha. That was obvious.
Well, the thing is this though, Black. You got to figure, man, with 2 funerals and some infighting, it's hard to slide a joke in.
But it's 3 hours. It's 3 F 1 laugh an hour.
I think that's what M'Baku's main thing was. He's the joke guy.
Crazy. That's crazy. He's the biggest, strongest gorilla Samson looking silverback dude there, and his job is to supply comic relief. Let's laugh at this dude. I don't like that depiction. I don't like that. I don't respect that.
So you want what? You want one of the ladies? Some of the ladies had some jokes.
Anybody else? Don't make the biggest black man a joke.
He did that in the first one.
Don't make him a joke. I don't respect that. My whole thing.
So you want more jokes, but you don't want them from none of the guys. You want them from the women.
It's called fuck break. When you take the biggest, strongest dude, right, and you humiliate him to laugh at him. But you laugh at him, not with him, at him. I don't respect that, is all I'm saying. They could have had, this is as Kugler, as cold as you say. Listen, I promise you, They could have written a script to where the laughter could have come from any direction, and it would have still
Remember they got
landed.
her. Remember they got her in the college dorm. The scientist in the college dorm,
Yeah,
and she threw the thing at him, and she sliced it. That was funny. She talked about her ashy head. That was funny.
the ashy head is when the eruption. Yeah, so
Yeah,
yeah,
she popped out of the bathroom.
I'm not mad at none of that. I'm not mad at that. It wasn't like
that was some
hilarious,
humor
but
from
it
the
was,
women.
yeah, it was just like all in the same, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of her being on film. It's just you asked me, this, that, and the third, and it was cool. Keep that in there. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying I recognize the subliminal. Do not humiliate and laugh at the biggest nigga in the doggone movie. And I gotta say it at this point. It's not. I don't think it's really being received correctly.
Umbaku, he was the comic relief in the first one, man.
I understand.
So why
I
wouldn't he
understand.
continue that in the second one?
Well, you have to set him up to be the butt of the joke in this when you got women running things and stepping up to the plate because he couldn't do it. You got to set that up.
Now, all that being said, let me say I'm looking for major things in number 3. Like I said, then I'm gonna have a problem because I see how he's setting everything up for 3. I see how he demoted the general. I seen that. So that's a chance for M'Baku to become the general. I see the son. So that's a chance for there to be a male Black Panther again. I see the queen who passed. So that's a symbol for Lupita to be the queen next. So I see how he's setting everything up. That's how I anticipated to go. And if I see something different than that, then I'm gonna be scratching my head because he set the stage for number 3.
If it don't go that way, then what is your conversation?
Well, I'll put it this way: if the men are not front and center in number 3, I may start abandoning the Black Panther series if the men are not strong in number 3.
Well, what if they're like kind of strong, but they explain it in such a way that it makes so much sense for them to be soft, weak.
Yeah, because I know, but I'm gonna feel a way too that because look, the Mexican guy, I mean that's what they were for the most part. They were Mayan. The Mexican guys, they stood strong. They had one big soldier who was handling his business.
Yeah, and he wasn't feminine.
No men ever really. It's only the brothers who get to, like, when we got to do something, it's not our way. That is not our way. We don't do that, or we don't want to go to war. You got Siri trying to talk M'Baku into going into war. Like, M'Baku was like, I don't want that for my people. And
I don't want that. I don't want to fight. You might as well say, I don't want to fight.
Yeah, I know. Meanwhile,
what?
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I know that part I did not like. The women shouldn't have to convince the men to fight for the throne and stuff like that. But
you're over there practically begging them to help protect her and fight with her. I don't want to fight. You might as well say that.
Well, I mean, but that's yeah. I mean, even Black Panther 1, he said that's not our way. He didn't want to fight. That's why Killmonger was mad at him, because they don't.
And he actually admitted the queen's life was worthy of fighting for. Man, they killed the queen. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but he said he didn't think the queen would want her to go to war.
Yeah, but listen.
And he didn't want to do that for his people.
You under attack. This ain't time to noble and moral and whatever. Like, what? We under attack. They came and killed the queen. They murdered us. They killed the highest level of us. We're under attack. This ain't no time for all that.
Yeah, and you
Come on,
don't,
bro.
and
This
but
is what I'm saying.
and that's
Like,
the
if you're
thing, and you
gonna
don't,
depict us,
right? I get
do it
that, and
right.
you don't
Like,
ever really see other races with these kind of internal conflicts and them
exactly.
not
Because
wanting
what
to
did the Mexicans
stand
do?
up and go to war. You
What
never
did the
see
Mexican
them.
dude do?
What do you mean?
They
He
killed. They came in Lapita. She came in. She killed the. I don't know who the little girl was. It was a regular person. It wasn't even a queen.
yeah,
And dude decided to go to war.
yeah,
He was like, "I'm finna nut up." What?
yeah,
You killed. Little Laquita. You killed Laquita. I got to go to war now. It
yeah, yeah.
wasn't.
You
It
kill
was.
one
I
of
mean,
us, and we all gonna attack. But
yeah. Then they had that big old dude over there, and he was like, "I'm finna." And they showed the Mexicans was punching the shit out of old girl, beating her like a man. Like,
what?
he was punching the mess out of her in the movie. Watch the movie again. He was punching.
Who?
Mike, the Mexican dude, and Black Panther. He was punching the mess out of her, like she was a man.
Oh.
Punching, like, wow, busting.
Oh yeah,
her
yeah,
and,
yeah. Yeah, when
like,
they fight scene
all
at the
fight
end.
scene. Yeah, it was no like, oh, that's a woman. I got it. No, they showed they was willing to go there. Oh, so you gonna depict that? You gonna show that? You gonna show this man punching this woman in the face like a man would punch a man? Bruh, how does that make a man in the audience to see a man punch a black woman in the face hard as he can, but knock her out? What? How long? How long, man? What are we doing? Dude, if nothing riles up in you as a man to see that, God help you.
Yeah.
If God ain't gonna help you, you're gonna slit your freaking wrist, man. Get it over with. All right, maybe I'm going too far.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm going too far.
Yeah, don't do
But
that.
what I'm saying is, because she had no military to protect her, she had to endure fighting a grown man, busting her all up in the face, trying to knock her head off her shoulder. She had to endure that. Now she prevailed in the end because that's how. Even though he stabbed her in the gut, she should have died.
Yeah, I don't know how she worked herself out of that. I found
She
that.
just kind of came back and Wakanda forever, and they just wrote it in the script like that.
Yeah.
But they
That
just
part
needed
was
to
a little
depict what they
suspect to
needed.
me. I didn't really
Yeah,
buy that part of it. But
they needed to depict that. Listen, this dude, he's beating the crap out of her, and she just happened to get the upper hand somehow, and this and that. And she was all, oh, I'm gonna be higher. Show them who you are. I'm gonna be a higher moral person, and I'm not gonna kill you. We always are like that. We won't kill you. We don't care who you are. It could be the white people. We're not gonna kill you, white people. Don't worry about it. We ain't gonna kill you. We gonna hurt you and subdue you, but we won't kill you. Even the Mexicans, we not gonna kill you. We'll hurt you, but we not gonna kill you. But when it come to us, multiple casualties. We will wipe each other the frick out, and that is what I see, and that's what pisses me off about these movies.
I agree with that, man. I agree with that. Yeah,
that's all
but
I'm saying.
we'll wrap it up here. You gave it a 8.5 stars. I gave it
an 8.5.
Yeah,
it was cold.
Yeah, I gave
the Mexicans being in there. Like, I salute them.
Yeah.
But we just need to link up, and we need to take care of business.
Yeah, I give it 9 stars. I think it was pretty dope, but the men not showing up, I did not like that. But at the end of the day, I know. But at the end of the day, But at the end of the day, I do get it because I think he's setting up number 3. I think he's getting it to the point where We're gonna show up and show out in number 3 because
So number 3,
I can
they
see the
don't
men.
they don't
I
show
can.
up. Nah, bro. I'm done. I'm done.
Well, yeah. If they don't show up in number 3, I will probably be done myself because I see everything set up to be that way, and that's the way it should be. Actually, I don't have no doubt that a male is going to play T'Challa. Well, because we already seen it. T'Challa is the little boy, so there, that can only happen. If that don't happen, uh, that will mess up the whole integrity of the story. Okay, but I think that that's going to happen. Me thinking that M'Baku is going to be the new general is just a guess on my end, but I think everything is set up for him to be the new general, and I'm looking for the men to come strong, come hard on this next one, and whoever they battle. I don't even care if it's the Talagans again, Talatans, whoever they fight. I anticipate them going hard, and uh, I don't. It's hard for me to see them going full might against some like the USA because they love to have us infighting for some reason. So I'm thinking that it's probably going to have another war with the Talitans again, and it's going to be some more infighting, unfortunately, because you will have to enter in another antagonist at this point. It should
Well,
be
what is
it should be the
Marvel?
United States, huh?
What is the Marvel? You sound like you read the Marvel
No,
comics.
I haven't read the Marvel. I haven't read the Marvel. I don't know how the story is going to go, but all I know is that it's set up to where the men should be in control and the men should be having a bigger role in number 3, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm interested to see who's going to be play the lead role of T'Challa. They probably haven't even picked that person yet. And I'm interested to see, how M'Baku is going to be the general. It would only make sense if he's the general, especially since they demoted the Dora Milaje, the ladies. I mean, they're just not strong enough for the Taliban Tans. They're just not strong like that. The general for them is just way too strong for that chick. I mean, when they was on the bridge, he practically destroyed her, almost. Yeah, he knocked her back into the water, and they just took the scientists after that. So, and the princess. So she's just not strong enough. I'm not saying that M'Baku is going to be much. He's gonna. I think this is gonna happen. He's gonna be brave. He's gonna be a good fighter. But I still think the women are going to have a key role with those new bodysuits. So they're gonna have.
No problem with that. But what I'm saying is, listen, man, you got to empower M'Baku with the knowledge. Quit playing him like he's a caveman and a gorilla. Neanderthal gang. Give him the technology, and it's gonna be up all after that. He is unstoppable, actually. Once you give him some purple drink along with a suit, you empower him. The whole show is over. Nobody's winning. He comes in life.
I know, but I don't think they're gonna give him a suit though. I think he's just gonna. I think he's just going to be a fighter, just like he always been. I think the ladies are going to have the suits, the old Dora Milaje. I think they're going to have those little blue suits, and they're going to do special things.
Out the power structure or whatever.
Yeah, so they're going to still appear. They're going to still appear more powerful than the men.
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. Right?
Yeah, they're still going to appear more powerful than the men because they're going to have, technology on them, and then you're going to have the female Iron Man, and she's going to be probably play a bigger role as a scientist, and then But
let's just leave it at that, man.
yeah. So thanks for joining. Hit the like, share, and subscribe. All right. And let us know what y'all think in the comments. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
It was a dope movie.
Yeah, it was.